Have a little candle. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday live. This is Elena of the Witch's Box. And hi, it's Tuesday. I don't know why. It feels like it's been 1,000 years since we saw each other, although we had a ritual guided meditation 4 days ago. Is that true? Goodness, I'm just discombobulated. But yes, I just saw most of you a couple of days ago on our live here on Friday. So hello, welcome. I see that can I just say this? I love showing up here for our lives on Tuesdays or even on Fridays too, when you guys are all just talking way before I even arrive. I think that that's just amazing. So I'm just going to go run through the name list and say hello. So hi to, let's see, hold on. Oh my gosh, it keeps going. Kay, Callum, let's see, who else is here? I think I saw Emirates, hello, beautiful. Elsbeth, wonderful. And I think someone's watching, I think Serena the Baby Witch. Susan, welcome. Rosemary, hello. Hi. And Alexis, hi everybody. Oh, thank you so much, Alexis. I know this is sturdy hair day. And Julimar, happy Tuesday. Hi, welcome. So yeah, it's Tuesday. This is the week that our virtual retreat starts and takes place. We are going into retreat on Friday, all of Saturday, and all of Sunday. So there will not be, even though I know that we've got it listed here, we're going to take it off because there will not be a live guided meditation on Friday, and there will not be a pre-recorded meditation on Friday either, because we're all, even though not everyone is going to be joining us in the retreat, I need to retreat. So for the rest of the week, pretty much after this, I'm pretty much doing nothing other than preparing myself energetically and getting things in order for our 3-day retreat, because we're going to be doing a lot of work together. It's going to be an intensive 3 days. So energetically, it's important to always prepare for a retreat before you get to the retreat. So that's what I'll be doing. And also, by way of announcements, is tomorrow the 20th? Yeah, tomorrow's the 20th. Tomorrow is the last day to register for the Finding Your Oracle or Finding the Oracle virtual retreat, which is going to happen on Friday. So that closes tomorrow. And mystery boxes are going out into the mail throughout this week into Friday. So be patient. They're going out. All of April boxes are out. All of the April books have long been gone. And I think that that's it for our announcements. Yeah, I think that's it for our announcements. Hi. Let me look. Endless Awareness, hello. A Burrows, hello. Reiko, hello. Crafting My Life, all these names. Tanya, wonderful. Rash, hi. Welcome. I'm so excited to see all you here. So on Tuesdays, we get together. I feel like I'm really loud because this microphone is right in my face. On Tuesdays, we get together. I do an oracle reading, and then we just hang out and do witchcraft Q&A, so we can talk about all sorts of things that you have questions about. We can talk about it here. And that's it, really. Today's deck, I'm back to this deck. I love this deck. I'm going to be using this deck for our oracle reading. The Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. This is a beautiful deck. She makes gorgeous decks too. All of these beautiful artists out there who are just making these gorgeous decks. I think I mentioned this either on a Tuesday or a Monday or a Friday, I don't know where, but I had a friend of mine who's a phenomenal photographer come and spend a couple of days here, and we did a whole slew of photos for upcoming things in the next year for the Witch's Box. And part of that photo shoot was kind of pulling out some of my decks, and it was just apparently clear that even though I've given away a lot of my decks, the collection is still pretty obscene. And I actually have a couple of brand new decks that I'd love to share with all of you that we might end up doing a little live like happy hour tarot show and tell in the future, because I realized, holy cow, I have a lot of cards still, and I've given away many. So anyway, all that to say that as I pulled out this one, because I felt like I really wanted to work with this deck again, I was looking through all of the other decks that I pulled out for this photo shoot, and I was a little embarrassed, but also just floored by the artistry available out there. There is just so many talented people creating these gorgeous decks that, oh, I can't handle it. Oh goodness. Okay, so I said hello to, yes. Gemon, welcome. And yeah, okay, wonderful. I know it's a lovely deck. So this is the card that I pulled. There we go. It's called the Path. It's the Waxing Crescent. Is it waxing or waning? Waxing. There we go. This is an interesting card. I've been working with this deck for a long time now, and I've never pulled this card ever. I love it. It's beautiful. It's a number 8 for those of you who love numerology. And I love that it's a waxing crescent because it's growing. And the only thing that really came to mind when I pulled this card was to ask the question, and we can maybe even have a conversation about this. What is it that you think your spiritual path looks like? Like, have you pulled back enough from your day-to-day to really look at what does that path look like? Like, where are you going somewhere, or is it really just about being in the moment? And what does being in the moment entail for you spiritually? Like, what does your path look like? And is your path something that you are, and there are no right or wrong answers here, yeah? But is your spiritual path something that you are very intentionally crafting for yourself, or is it something that you are kind of going with the flow with to see where it leads you? Again, there's no right or wrong here, but it's interesting to think about because it's not necessarily something that many think about, right? Is it an intentionally crafted path, or is it I'm here for whatever shows up and we'll see where it goes? So this is what came up in terms of the question. And perhaps whether you are one of the like, hey, I'm here for whatever the ride is, or I'm a big planner, the question here is, what is your path as a spiritual being supposed to lead you to? What is your spiritual path supposed to lead you to? And again, there's no right or wrong. This is your answer, but that's the question. So what do you think your spiritual path is supposed to lead you towards or lead you to? Boom. And there you go. Hi, Meg. Hi, Carla and Camilla and Jessica. Welcome, welcome. So that's the question. That's the card. This is the deck. It's beautiful. I'm going to drink some water and then check out your chats. Let's see. Hold on. I love all this chatter. Lovely deck. Seen it. Don't own that one though. It's a beautiful deck. I mean, I'm that terrible friend who will enable your buying more cards than you should have, basically. So yeah, I was gonna say buy it, but you know, maybe ask somebody else. Oh, Callum, I know. I really wish that you can come on the retreat as well. Will the virtual retreat be uploaded here? No, it will not. So the virtual retreat will not be uploaded to YouTube. The virtual retreat will be a yearly thing. So there'll be an opportunity to do this again next year around the same time. I don't have the dates for that, but around the same time of the year, it'll happen again because it's a really great, we had, I don't know if you saw this, but we had the live wayfinding class here on YouTube last week, right? Was it last week? And I talked about how those concepts, even though they're not necessarily always common concepts to talk about in the witchcraft world, from where I come from and from the kind of practice that I have, those are foundational concepts. And so finding the oracle and the work that we're going to be doing over the course of the next, like this weekend, it's a long weekend. For me, that is a foundational practice to establish for yourself. So I think that it's an important thing to offer regularly. So all that to say that if you can't join this weekend, you can certainly join again in the future. It will be available again. It's not a pre-recorded thing. It's going to be more of, we're going to be doing all of it live, partly because there are things that happen in the moment in ritual that are important to process together as a group. And so there's a lot of that woven into the retreat for this weekend. We're going to be doing, like, I'll be talking and teaching for sure, where there'll be note taking and actual learning, but then we need to just put all that aside and do the actual experiencing. So we'll be doing, I haven't counted, but probably like 2 rituals a day, with the exception of, I think Friday there's just 1 in the evening. So it's intensive. But I think that direct experience is what also like solidifies the information that people are taking in. All that to say that this is for me, foundational work. So it'll be ongoing. So in the future, if you're able to, it would be awesome to have you. Elizabeth says, your obscene amount of decks gives me permission to buy more. I'm a pusher. Oh gosh, hold on. I just skipped everybody. So Callum says, in terms of the question, mine is the meandering through the forest of life. I don't know how many of you know of the game Skyrim, but I'm a big fan of playing the werewolf build because my soul wants to join the eternal hunt. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Callum, do you know that I'm a wannabe game girl? I'm not a gamer. I want to be a game girl. I never have the kind of like computer set up to really facilitate my gaming. However, I've heard Skyrim is actually very cool, and just that wording is so poetic. It's beautiful. But yeah, so you're like the meandering person. I love that. Elizabeth says, my path has drifted out of control with family health issues. Boy, my dreams have gotten wacky. Dreams are, they are a foretelling of so much in terms of what you're processing, what you're trying to integrate, what you're trying to rewire. So it would be interesting, right, for you to really take note every morning of what you've dreamt about, so that later, not in the moment, but later, you can go back and see what those stories are about and what imagery and what consistent points keep coming up for you to look at. Emran says, at the moment I'm going with the flow, but I have wanted for a while to be more planned. Yes. Also, I would say that you might find over the course of your lives, all of you, me included, that there are times when you're just kind of going with it. Like, you don't know where it's going, but you're in it, you're experiencing it as it comes. And then there'll be moments where suddenly you want more structure. Like, that's very normal and common as well. It's in her scene's realm? But that's a fiction universe. So the closest thing I can think of would be to be a green man in my next life. Beautiful. Well, here's the thing about these fictional universes. It's very similar. I look at those fictional universes because so many people engage in those fictional universes, they become part of our mythology. Perhaps not the mythology of every person, but when you think about games like this, where you've got hundreds of thousands of people engaging in this storied play, that also becomes part of our mythology, right? So the fact that you had that in you as a metaphor for your path, I think is totally right on. It's totally valid, even if it is from a like fiction universe, because it speaks to you. It's a metaphor that speaks to you. So I think that's beautiful. Jamar says, the historical intellectuals, normally old wealth, are never ashamed of their vast libraries, and collections, etc. Listen, I am not old wealth. I am no wealth by any stretch of the imagination, but you know what? I'm okay with being one if that ever came to pass for me. And then you're right. I probably would not have any shame around, because I do have fantasies of having vast libraries. I want a massive house. I've told you all this before. I want a massive house so that I can have an entire, like, I would probably turn in the master bedroom area into like an actual library and just have like a little small room somewhere else in the house. That's how I would roll. Okay, or have an entire side house as a library. Oh, the dreams, the dreams. Elizabeth, trees. I wake and I see trees till they fade away. Oh, beautiful. That's beautiful. Rash says, oh, I have this deck. It is my only Oracle deck. Beautiful job. She also has, I don't remember what it's called, and I only pulled this deck out during Hollows in October, but she has, I don't think it's a Halloween deck. It's either the Halloween deck or the Hollows deck or the Samhain deck. I don't remember, but she has a gorgeous Hollows deck that is just, the vibrancy is breathtaking. Jamon says, exactly what I would like to know. Having trouble finding that path unless I am on it and don't realize a beautiful card. Okay, let me get back to that. Well, let me speak to that now before I scroll past. We have choices. You know what I mean? And I think that when you don't know, when it's like, I'd like to know what my path is, but I don't know what my path is, and I don't know what an actual spiritual path would look like. Just taking that question, like that true, authentic curiosity around, like, what would a structured or intentioned spiritual path look like? that as a meditation, that as an open door to receive information is really powerful and really beautiful. You can take that to your guide. You can take that to a deity that you work with. You can take that to your ancestors. Like, can you help me figure out what makes sense? Do I need to have a mapped out path? You may not need that, right? Because both serves. There's something really beautiful about very intuitively and in the present moment kind of feeling your way through the life lessons that come and being present for them, as well as really taking inventory about these are the places that I need healing, these are the places that I need to explore, and letting that map inform the kind of spiritual path that you have. So both serve and both are incredibly powerful, but when you want more of something, just dropping that question in to receive guidance would be really beautiful and powerful for you to do with whomever you work with, right? So it can be guides, again, it can be elders, it can be all sorts of different beings, both here in visible, tangible world, as well as out there in the ethers, in the world of the unseen. Oh, hold on. I skipped again. Wow, I skipped a lot. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Okay, I saw that. Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to find my way back to where I left off. So Abby says, I will definitely be on the next virtual retreat and book a hotel for it too. Just was impossible for me this weekend. No, I get it. Life is really busy. But also there is, I don't know if you're here, there is someone who did rent an Airbnb so that they can have a full retreat experience, which is great. Also, information is going to be going out on the forum for those of you who are attending the retreat, as well as email, but I'm having trouble with a collective email for whatever reason today. So be on the lookout in the forum for both the itinerary, because I have the actual times and when we're going to do certain things along with the breaks that are baked in, as well as some considerations as you approach Friday and things that you need. Okay. Tanya says, I have been back on my path for a while now. I was sidetracked from it for a bit. Life happened. I have been reading more, taking more nature walks. Beautiful. The other thing to consider is that because you're not the only one who said something like this, and people say this often where it's like, I got sidetracked. Your life is your spiritual path, right? It's not separate from your day-to-day mundane. It's not separate from the, oh, I had to clean the bathroom today. You know what I mean? It's all of it is the same. And so if it means that for a while you were tending to your day-to-day life because it was huge and it was messy or something was going on and you weren't able to tend to things like meditation or study, that doesn't mean that you still weren't on your spiritual path. Tending to your family, tending to your personal life, tending to your job, that is still very much part of your spiritual path because all of it is one. It's how you engage those things, right? It's the intention that you bring to it. And also, when you don't engage it with intention, when you don't engage it with consciousness, that's still part of your spiritual path. Yeah. It's just how we're dancing with it. And so in a perfect world, in our fantasy world, our spiritual path looks like, oh, I don't do anything else, but I like focus on my journal, or I focus on my meditation or my altar, and all I do is this one thing. That isn't realistic, and that's not a balanced life. A balanced life is a whole life where all of it counts, all of it is there, all of it is happening all at once, every day, every second of every day. So it's really about how we engage in the moment, how we are engaging right now. We're on YouTube. I'm on YouTube. We're talking to each other sort of in a strange way. This is a reflection of how we express our spirituality as well. The choices that we make, the people that we speak to, the way we speak to each other, the way we ask things of each other, the curiosities that we have, all of that is part of your spiritual path. Okay. Endless Awareness says, I was just reading about self-fulfilling prophecies today, and it isn't, I will believe it when I see it, but I will see it once I believe it. Yes. I think it's pertinent to this spiritual path question. I think so too. That's beautiful. I'm glad that you shared that. That's gorgeous. I love that. Tanya says, I am now studying herbology and aromatherapy. My path is to help heal body and mind. I'm working towards it. Gorgeous. Emran says, yes, Elena did a live video about, I think you're talking to someone else. Yes, I did do. Yeah, what Emerin said. It was over 3 hours. It was crazy. Crafting My Life says, Elena, I want to share this with you. It was a year ago when I told you in a live on Instagram that I had quit a job that made me unhappy to start chasing my dream. I remember. Let me see what you're going to say. You told me I would work my ass off, but it would be worth it. A year later, I'm here with my first book published. Look at you. And another contract with the publisher just signed. Oh my God. I am so happy for you. I just got a little verklempt. Amazing. Congratulations. Thank you, because you have been a little oracle, my little oracle, but most of all, you're a great inspiration. And I'm writing about the moon, so this card is perfect. Congratulations. That is beautiful. I'm so happy to hear that. And let's just all bask in the glory of that, because that's gorgeous. I love it. What a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Hi, Sally. Welcome. Emerin says, I never needed permission to get more decks, but having my hubster see or know this made it easier for him to understand why I kept getting more. Susan says, I started my path in my 20s, but left the path when my daughters were growing up. But now I'm back on the path, wanting to learn something new every day and enrich my spirit and knowledge. Beautiful. And I love that little butterfly that you put there. A Burrows says, Tarot and Oracle use is a new path for me in itself. I've been using the decks I have for clarity and goal setting as I learn the decks and get comfortable with readings. Beautiful. They're a great tool for that. They really are. Tanya says, not just mine, but to help heal and bring wellness to and happiness to others. Beautiful. It's a worthy path. It's beautiful. We need it. We need it. Elspeth in big cap says, library lust. Seriously. Every day, always. There's a oh, I just skipped again. Why do I do that? There are a couple, it's not just one, Instagram accounts that just do nothing but post just these glorious old time, just breathtaking libraries. And I could scroll through those accounts all day long. And then every once in a while, if I'm really tired, I have a little fantasy about me in one of those libraries. I'm manifesting. Let's see. Hercene is the father of werebeasts and lord of the eternal hunt. His domain is a massive forest where predator and prey continually feast upon each other and live in an eternal balance of the hunt. Dude, do I need to figure out, can you play Skyrim on a Mac? If my husband's watching, he's like probably rolling his eyes. I asked for Christmas, I want a PS5 so I can play, I don't know if I'm going to get this, so I can play, it's such a frivolous desire, but who cares? A PS5 so that I can play Red Dead Redemption, because I love the whole like life building and commerce and anyway, but this sounds like it's a fantastic, gorgeous game. I love that kind of mythical story. All right, let's go back to this. Closest real life deity is probably Hearn or Cernunnos. Got it. I'm going to check that out. Meg says, my path has been going, yet a bit dormant due to getting all the things, but in actuality, doing ritual in a consistent manner just hasn't happened. I mean, we go through phases, right? We go through phases. I think that for me, we could probably talk about this now or another time, but there are different types of ritual, right? There are those elaborate rituals where it's maybe at a full moon or at the turn of a season, or, you know, you're doing some sort of like cord cutting or something where it's an elaborate, planned out thing, sometimes with other people, sometimes it's just with you. But then there are the day-to-day rituals that are smaller, that are more doable, that don't require a single other thing but yourself. And for me, that's what's really helped keep something consistent, where if it's just a 5-minute sit down with my eyes closed so that I can come into like a nanosecond of silence and stillness before I go into the day, then that becomes the ritual. That becomes the through line when life has just been, this month has been insane. And I'm struggling, like personally, Mama's struggling. I've been struggling to kind of keep up. I've been struggling to keep it all going. That 5 minutes, even if it's just 5 minutes, can be incredibly centering. And then I started to I had this conversation with Erica, who is part of Team Witchery, where it's like, I know that I need 2 hours a day. So now 2 hours a day is kind of a lot, right? 2 hours a day can be for a lot of people a luxury, but I know that that's my optimal. When I do a certain set of things throughout the course of this chunk of time, I function in a much more engaged way. I function in a much more connected way. The flow is one that's coming from all parts of existence and it comes through me. But sometimes that's not realistic. It just isn't. Sometimes it doesn't happen. So even if you can give yourself a 5-minute check-in, a 5-minute slow down, a 5-minute go silent with intention, that can be just as powerful as that really elaborate, let's pull out the altar, let's do all the things, let's call in the quarters, right? That sometimes that just doesn't work. And the way to make it easier to be in a frequent state of ritual is literally just a quiet check-in. Touch a tree, light a candle as you walk by that part of the room. Something. It doesn't have to be anything huge, just something to kind of signal to the universe and to yourself, I'm tapping in, even if it's for 5 seconds. And that can be helpful, even if you don't do anything else with it. Sorry. Okay, that's you guys are talking to each other. Hi Kat says, Elena, to clarify, will we have access to recorded parts of the Oracle? Yes, if you are part of the retreat, you will absolutely have access to the recorded parts, because the whole thing will be recorded. And then, especially for those of you who are going to be, either you can't be available for the full 3 days, or you're in a whole other time zone where it just is not going to make sense to be up at the same time as we are. What I'm going to try to do is, as I put the schedule together, I try to get really realistic about how quickly those videos can be uploaded. So during the lunch hour each day, I'll be uploading as many of those as I can, and I'll start the upload process at that point in the afternoon. And then each of those videos, with like the order that they come in, will be placed in the forum so that you can see them in the forum. And you'll always have access to that forum. And those will be there even throughout for next year, because the next year we'll do probably something a little different, even though it'll be similar but different. And those will get added to that repository as well. Okay. Callum says, it really resonates with me because I have had several dreams of being a werewolf in real life and basically being the green man, forest dwelling guardian druid type of Gandalf character in this life and the next. I love that. Especially when you do work with archetypes, those become archetypes for us, right? Because again, archetypes are a combination of a near mythical, bigger than life person or character that then society fuels with their intention and attention and belief system. So they're almost like egregores. I think that archetype and egregore, and sometimes even deity, like some people get very bristly when you make those things all the same, but it's a very similar energetic signature that we're dealing with. So Gandalf very much in modern society is a mythological figure that is an archetype. The wizard is an archetype. So to relate to that, I mean, absolutely beautiful. And to work with that as a way to, I love working with archetypes as a way to refine and augment our own embodiment and our own experience of who we are and how we show up in the world. Because working with an archetype for a long period of time can help shape you in that image in some way and help you take on some of those characteristics if that's what you want. My voice is going, sorry. I'm glad that was helpful. And I don't know if you were talking to me or not, but you're welcome. Oh, Meg, I think, did I miss what you said in the beginning? Oh, no, I got it. Okay, so I've been a bit dormant. Okay, I got that. Okay, now we're good to the second part. So with that said, I'm also having a health scare and my career is very disruptive. So I think that dormancy has been there for a reason, and I'm liking at what is ahead for me. And I'm looking at what is ahead for me. Beautiful. Yeah, dormancy. Hold on, I skipped again. Dormancy is very much a part of a spiritual path, right? We've talked about this before, where we have the seasonal cycles of the planet, Earth. I'm not Earth, I'm sorry. Yes, Earth, but winter, spring, summer, fall. Those have 3 months at a time. Generally, depending on where you live, you might see all four of those seasons, but sometimes if you live like I do in Southern California, maybe you only see two of those seasons. They have a clock, they have a rhythm, but we also then have our own internal seasonal clock where it might be summer, but you're still in the winter of your life where you've been in that winter for 8 months or a year or 2 years. And so that dormancy is very much a part of your spiritual path. That dormancy is probably a part of you needs to rest. A part of you needs to just get past it. A part of you needs to like manage to get over that bridge before you can have a spring or a summer and wake up a little bit. And I say all this because I don't want us to go into a direction where we feel like we're fragmented beings. We're not, right? Your spiritual path is your life path. Your spiritual path is all of it, all at once, completely integrated. In fact, the more integrated we are, the more on the spiritual path we are, which means, I think we talked about this. I almost feel like we did this yesterday, but we were on, maybe it was last, I don't know, because I had 3 lives last week. But we were talking about even a pig in shit. We were talking about beauty. I don't even know how this conversation happened, but even a pig in shit is beautiful. But even a pig in shit is also your spiritual life, where all of it is. The cleaning the toilet is your spiritual path. The work, the drudgery of you have to go to the same job every day and you don't like it, and that's part of your spiritual path. I don't want us to walk around thinking that it is a separate thing from our day-to-day, because it's not. And that fragmentation creates a lot of issues for us that we really need to just let go of so that we can be in our full power. We need to be in our full power. I want you all to be in your full power. Full integration is being in your full power. Okay. Camilla says, I felt really deeply like my spiritual path is simply feeling completely human. There we go. With a healthy lifestyle, and most practices I do are connected to this, to reconnect to my natural self. Thank you. You said it so much better than I did. Thank you. That's exactly what I was trying to say in a very convoluted way. Meg says, I want more structure and community. Yes, and that's available. It's something to definitely work for, because that structure and that community is a beautiful support system, especially for witches when there are many of us. Let's talk about that. There are plenty of witches out there, but we lack what a lot of organized religions have, which is this like touchstone. Usually if you go to church or temple on a weekly basis, you have a touchstone to go back to with your people week after week after week. And sometimes for some people, like for me, that was incredibly suffocating. But there have been moments when it's always really beautiful and really nourishing to go back to community, right? So there's a balance there somewhere, and everyone is different. But I think that needing community and needing structure can be really important throughout parts of our lives to help create momentum and movement and directionality, for sure. I feel like I'm really chatty today. Am I really chatty today? I mean, we're here to chat, but just like, I just caught this. This is Emerence talking to Callum, but she says, Callum, there is that something about howling at the moon. There is, absolutely. Let's see. Callum prefers to bathe in the magic of the forest. Doing so under the moonlight is inadvisable due to poor visibility. But I do know the appeal of communing with the moon, always. Beautiful, beautiful. Pisces Maiden. Dearest Elena, how does one find their gift? I mean, it depends on what kind of gift you're talking about, but I feel like all gifts, we can find our gift through different means. We can find our gifts through introspection, to really get honest about yourself in terms of what comes easy for you, what comes with ease. What do people compliment you for the most? Is it your listening skill, or your ability to make them laugh, or help help turn people towards a path that helps them manifest? Like what is it that comes to you with ease? Is it drawing? Is it speaking? Is it just knowing? There's that combination of ask yourself and really get honest with yourself, but then also ask those around you, like that you really know and that really care about you. Like, what do you think is my strength? And then also, what do people mostly compliment you on? And that gives you morsels and hints about what is your gift, because your gift is already there. There's always this idea that I need to find what my gift is and it's not there yet. No, it's been there from the beginning. It just hasn't either been named or hasn't been identified, or you take it for granted because it's so normal to you that it just feels like it's natural, right? It's not something that's unique, but for others it may be like, no, you really have a gift for X, Y, and Z. Alexa says, my spiritual practice seems to be more show up and see what happens approach, answering to those subtle nudges from spirit. I notice when I try to add too much structure, I get rebellious. That is some serious insight to have about yourself, and that's important. That's good that you know that. Yeah, because some of us are like that, right? Some of us is like, hell no, I'm not going to follow the rules. I'm going to do my thing, whatever that. Yeah, I love that. Tell me what sign you are. I'd love to know what sign you are. Cheryl says, reading the water witchcraft book you reviewed, I'm realizing I have been working with water magic for years and did not know it. Oh, beautiful. Good. I'm glad. Oh gosh. It's a little extra jumpy today. Okay, I read that. Kim, no, the email for the virtual retreat will go out today, but it's also going to be posted on the forum because I'm having trouble with the group emailing. I don't know what's going on there. Let's see. Oh, I love, Tanya, that you're reading both of those books. That's great. Emerald says that sometimes in Las Vegas you can see all 4 seasons in a single day. I believe it. Meg says, I find the moon fascinating and the phase is so quick. I know, they really are. I mean, it's every other day, just about, right? It goes through different sign and different phase. But if you just, like we do with the Moon Ritual Coven, if you just kind of focus on new, full, and dark waning, you get like, I don't know, about a week and a half-ish, give or take, between each phase. And that gives you some, well, with the exception of the new, with the exception of the dark waning to the next new, that's a much quicker shift. But just those 3 can give you like a looser schedule to do work without having to feel like, oh God, I have to do it every day. But it is quick. It's totally quick. Oy. You guys, why is this jumping around? I don't know that I've seen Enchanted Blossoms Oracle deck. This is from Tanya. She says, I decided to pull a few cards from Enchanted Blossoms Oracle deck, or those that fall when while I shuffle them. I know. I love the ones that kind of like spring out of the deck onto the floor like, hello, don't forget about me. I love that. Pisces Maiden says, people with pain always come to me. These are random people. And that's an indication for sure. Hold on, I'm thinking. Yeah, tell me what you think about that. Tell me, when they do come to you, what does that exchange look like? Like, what are they needing and wanting from you? Thank you for the compliment. Camilla, another way to find your gifts, in my opinion, is what do you do to express your feelings and your emotions? That comes natural. Beautiful. That's a great question. Oh, there we go. Western astrology, Leo sun, Scorpio moon, and Gemini. I mean, all of that is completely like not into like the structure and the rules. The Gemini, the Leo, the Scorpio. That's an amazing combination of planets. I love it. Or signs. Emirates has a message for Pisces Maiden and says, my hubster used to often say he couldn't take me anywhere. People would just find me. I don't go out in public anymore and they still find me. And in Vedic astrology, you're a Cancer. I don't know what my Vedic astrology is. Oh, Vedic astrology, you're Cancer sun, Scorpio moon, and Taurus rising. Interesting. I need to check that out. It's made by Carla Morrow. I'm going to write that down. Not that I need another deck. Hold on, Carla. Okay, Carla Morrow, I got it. Yeah, Emerence, it was I believe it was Pisces moon. Jamon, people come up to me too with their life stories. It's incredible. I'd forgotten about that. There you go. Yeah. And it's usually something that you just take for granted because it happens so commonly for you that it's just part of your life. And then sometimes you're multi-gifted, right? You're multi-gifted. Sometimes people are just really, really accessible, and people find comfort in being in their presence. That's a gift. That's a beautiful gift, right? So there can be so many different things. I know we always need a deck. I don't know. I'm kind of in this weird place, like, should I just surrender and buy what I want and just the hell with it? Or really, I'm also saving up for something, so it's like I really need to like curtail some of my spending so that I can focus my money in another direction. And then there's also the issue of, is I don't have any more space for any more of these decks. What am I doing? I don't even use them all. But for the upcoming live retreat, here's a little hint. We still have 2 spaces available for that, actually. For our live retreat in May, I'm going to have little stations throughout the house and the property. It's a huge property with this whole deck system. And so I'm going to have a couple of like squirreled away altar spaces, to like workstations to work with, a deck and a couple of little potions and lotions and things to like do a little mini reading if you want to kind of take a moment to yourself and sit there and do a little reading for yourself. So there will be, I'm going to use as many of my decks as I can and have like little mini altar stations around the house so people can have like a moment alone to work with cards. So there's an excuse to have a lot of decks. Let's see. Jilmar finds seekers seek those who they sense have knowings and hold comfort. Yes, absolutely. The heart leads you to the people that are right for what you're needing. Column says, my talent is listening and not being seen. My gift is an old kind of knowing when it comes to nature, but not much else. But that's a beautiful gift. It's a beautiful gift, for sure. Pisces Maiden says, today, for example, an older lady came and sat near me listening to my friend chatting to me about her son. When I acknowledged her, she started crying about life. Oh, that's awful. And that's also very sweet that you are safe enough. And that's something really beautiful too, that you are safe enough for someone to come and be vulnerable with. That's gorgeous. That's a very holy calling for sure. Cheryl says, people come to me for advice and problem solving. I'm an amazing listener and I'm wise. First of all, let's give some serious props to Cheryl for being able to own that. That's gorgeous. I love that. And you said that, and Pisces Maiden says, I said life is just beginning for her. You're beautiful people. So beautiful. I love you guys. I love that you guys are part of our like community, and we have these amazing conversations on YouTube of all places. It's beautiful. Really beautiful. I'm going to drink some more water. And then Column says, well, that and whenever something feels off, like I'm about to get into a scrap, I always get an out-of-body experience, but can never induce one in any other scenario. Well, that's your alarm system, yeah? Oh, Camilla says, I think you've mentioned this before, Camilla. Yeah, I don't remember, but I feel like it's familiar to me to hear this, that your gift is that you know when animals and people are about to die. It'd be interesting to check into psychopomp work to see what you do with that. Oh, thank you, Pisces Moon. I appreciate it. Yes, perhaps next year for the retreat. So we're probably going to have, because I got like a rush of inspiration, and the whole idea about around having long stretches of time together, whether it's on Zoom or personally, to do ritual work and deep spiritual like journeying together is just so juicy to me. So the other day I had a whole rush of all of the notes and things that I've taken, and I've hidden little notebooks here and there of projects that I want to do with you all, like in the future. I had them all out, and it was like, okay, what are the next few things? We're going to have a couple of other virtual retreats coming up in pretty quick succession through late spring and into summer, where instead of being like this one is an intense one. 3 days of work like this is intense, but there are a couple that are 1 day long, a couple of that are go at your own pace without me like guiding you in real time, but there are a couple that are coming that you can also participate in that aren't going to be as intensive, and a little less price, but also throughout the calendar year, so that you have choices. Yeah. And I know that we're all busy, especially in spring and summer, now that we're all like just trying to run out and do fun things because we haven't for so long. It'll be hard to get schedules going, but there'll be many, so you'll have opportunities. So don't feel the FOMO. If it's not okay for you to do now, then it's okay, it'll come back around, so you'll have many more opportunities for sure. Thank you, Emerence. And harvesting the honey. Oh, I have to actually send out an email this week. Maybe it won't come out until next week. Yeah, wait until next week. I'm going to send out an email update on what's going on with harvesting the honey, which is really, really exciting. But just to give everyone an idea of what's going on, because it's been kind of like hanging over us, and it was supposed to have like gone live last week. And then Mama got like, I got like downloads, and it was like, oh, I have to add this to harvesting the honey, and that's going to take me some time because I'm pretty much this whole week is dedicated to the retreat, and other things are happening, but it's coming. I'm glad that you're here too, Wendy. What am I missing? I think I feel like I skipped again. Emran says, see, Callum and I have a mental mind meld sync, and he's in the UK. Freaky Friday, I love it. Pisces Maiden says, Elena, what can you tell us about mirrors? I am very drawn to mirrors with thick wooden frames. I know it's random, but I found the courage to ask you. Oh my gosh, please ask whatever you want to ask. Mirrors are amazing. Mirrors are portals. Mirrors are beautiful portals either into other realms, but also great for scrying, also great for embodying work, right? And self-facing, because when you get in front of a mirror and you gaze into your own eyes as a long stretch of meditation to really get into the heart of yourself, what comes up is powerful. Mirrors are also incredible reflectors. So when you do protection magic and you want to put a shield around you, you can use little mirrors. I think we talked about this, I don't know, sometime last week, I think. When we talked about using mirrors as a protection spell, where you get like at a hobby store, and I just found an extra one the other day, and I wanted to put it on my desk so I can show you all, but you can get little circles that cost pennies. They're not expensive. Sometimes they're made out of plastic, sometimes they're made out of glass. I prefer glass. Where you stick them facing out behind, I like to do south, or oh my gosh, where are my directions? I'm completely confused. North, east, south, west, like in those parts of your house, you can put the mirror facing out, either stick it on a window or stick it behind like a picture frame if you don't want it to be seen, with the intention of what it's going to keep reflected back out and not coming into your house, right? So if you want to reflect back to whoever's sending it to you, negative energy, any ill will, the mirror is a beautiful reflector for that kind of work. So there's a lot that can happen with mirrors. Beautiful work that can happen with mirrors. Don't ever be afraid to ask away. We love mirrors around these parts. Yeah, Emerald is also second. There's so much that you can do for sure. And also black mirrors. I've got like three black mirrors where they're great for scrying. I prefer scrying with black mirrors just because I can get very distracted with my face, which sounds ridiculous, but I can. But I've also done beautiful work with mirrors where I'm actually gazing into my eyes, and it's a beautifully intimate work. It can be incredibly vulnerable when you really want to get clear with yourself, and you really want to wait for that chatter to come to like melt away, so that your masks melt away too, and you really see yourself. That's a really important work. It's really great for shadow work. Reiko says, there is a house in my neighborhood that have strands of little mirrors hanging from their tree. I think of it as their fairy tree. Beautiful. That's gorgeous. Callum says to Pisces Maiden, I hate mirrors because the uncanny valley, and I always find a sense of creepy otherness around them. I can't look too long and I start seeing shadow me. Well, and that's the work. So yeah, you start to see shadow you. I mean, that's part of the work with mirrors. It's really powerful, it's really necessary, and it's uncomfortable and can be really scary. Remember to clean and clear out old mirrors because before you bring them into the house. Yes, that's a great point to make. I brought one in and forgot to sage the house to clear any spirits that should not be there. Hold on, I'm really. Elizabeth says, as a child, I used mirrors reflections to see my granddad. Beautiful. Yes, Alexis says, mirrors have been huge in my self-love practice. Gorgeous. Yes, absolutely. Show. I know that emoji is really, really cute. I don't know why YouTube asked me if I should show that or not. That was really innocuous. Beautiful. Beautiful. So I don't know that it's going to really, you're not going to notice, but possibly, but I'm going to do, after this, I'm going to like shut it down and do my pre-retreat preparations. So I'm going to be pretty quiet. But Emily is on social media, and I will be posting things to the forum for Finding the Oracle people for this week. And we will not, as a reminder, we will not have a guided meditation on Friday because we're all retreating. Not all of us, but I'm retreating. And so even just the act of putting together a pre-recorded video this week doesn't work for me because I really need to do the work of going inward and preparing to hold space for everybody. But we will be back next week with all the things. So next Tuesday with the live, next Friday with the live guided meditation. Also, next, I need to look at my email, but next, let me double check to make sure that I'm not. Yes, so next Tuesday we have a live, but also next Tuesday, the 26th, we have our Witches book gathering for the people who were subscribed to the books, and also for those who bought the single book bundle. That's happening next Tuesday. I am not sure yet if Anwin is going to be joining us, but I will let you know when I do know. And that's it. For those of you who were not subscribed and were asking about the pendulum box, there's still a couple of those on sale. And I think that's all that we have on sale, really. Yeah, that's it. And again, tomorrow is a deadline for the Finding the Oracle registration for the retreat that starts this Friday. That's a virtual retreat. And then Pisces Maiden says, my mom made me clean the mirrors when I was young. When I cleaned them with vinegar, I would see water or ripples. It's always stuck with me. Mirrors are portals. They're portals. It's really beautiful. All right. I love you all. Thank you for coming and hanging out, and have a wonderful week. I will see those of you who I'm going to see on Friday. I cannot wait. And yeah, and then I'll see all of you next Tuesday. So be safe. Have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves. Be really gentle, and we will see each other soon. Bye.